high school football playoffs began this week. 20 local teams started the second season. A big rematch in Warren. Could the Raiders repeat? In Poland, the Dogs took a bite out of these Wolverines. Speaking of dogs, these hounds were running wild. We'll have our eagle eyes on all the highlights coming up. Inside High School Football's next.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to Inside High School Football. We are coming to you live from Mollenkopf Stadium in Warren, Ohio, as members of the Warren Harding Raider Band perform for us this morning on just a gorgeous day for football. And behind us, Mike, we have members of the Warren Harding Raider football team who knocked off Boardman last night, 16-7.
What a great game last night. You guys feel pretty good today? Yeah. All right. We're going to talk a little about Harding. We're going to talk more about the Boardman game and a lot of other games coming up.
Mike Ackelson will join us in just a few minutes, but we're going to take a look back at last night's Warren Harding Boardman game in the rematch in the first round of the playoffs.
Inside High School Football is brought to you by Arby's, The Muscle Connection, and by the DeBartolo Corporation.
Edward J. DeBartolo.
Call War on Terrorism.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome back to Mollenkopf Stadium, home of the Warren Harding Raiders, as the Raiders were victorious last night over the Boardman Spartans, 16-7. 20 teams opened the playoffs this weekend, and several looking to move on.
Especially Boardman against Harding. Could Harding win it one more time? This was the rematch last night.
Well, let's take you back to last night, where it was Harding and Warren Harding and Boardman last night, and we'll get to those highlights coming up. We'll get to the Boardman Warren Harding highlights. We should have those. They'll be coming shortly. Warren Harding, but we have Coach Tom McDaniels with us, Coach, as they get those highlights set. Let's talk about last night first of all. Obviously, I think a turning point in the game was when you got the fumble or the fumble recovery by Masucci, and then on the very next play, Marie.
Afghanistan by the U.S. will affect how Muslims here feel about the U.S. war on terrorism.
And hi again, everybody. Welcome back to Mollenkopf Stadium, home of the Warren Harding Raiders, as the Raiders were victorious last night over the Boardman Spartans, 16-7. 20 teams opened the playoffs this weekend, and several looking to move on.
Especially Boardman against Harding. Could Harding win it one more time? This was the rematch last night.
Well, let's take you back to last night, where it was Harding and Warren Harding and Boardman last night, and we'll get to those highlights coming up. We'll get to the Boardman Warren Harding highlights. We should have those. They'll be coming shortly. Warren Harding, but we have Coach Tom McDaniels with us, Coach, as they get those highlights set. Let's talk about last night first of all. Obviously, I think a turning point in the game was when you got the fumble or the fumble recovery by Masucci, and then on the very next play, Maurice goes 97.
I don't know if that was the turning point. I mean, that gave us the early lead. I would say the safety was a huge difference maker in the outcome of the ball game, because it put us ahead, and I think we made a big difference in the way that we played offense the second half and the way we played defense for 2.5 quarters. So I don't bring it down to one single thing.
Coach, it seemed like in the second half you guys just decided, listen, we're going to pound the ball and let's see if these guys can stop us.
Well, that's basically what we decided to do at halftime. Some of the things that we had attempted to do in the first half in an attempt to generate a big play were unsuccessful. We didn't protect real well. We didn't connect with receivers, either because we didn't throw as accurately as we needed to, or we didn't hang on to the things that were thrown where we could catch them. So we decided that, no, we're going to load it up. We're going to play hard-nosed, aggressive football and see whether they could contend with that, and it turned out to be the right decision.
Okay, let's take a look at those highlights now from last night. Again, Boardman and Warren Harding in the rematch, and the Raiders come out on the field and they were fired up. Spartans moving the football on the second drive. Corey Tucker jars the ball loose, and Rob Masucci comes up with the recovery. This is inside the 5-yard line. Masucci trying to make something happen, but the ball was placed at the 3-yard line. On the very next play, Maurice Claret takes the handoff, picks up a couple of good blocks, and when Maurice turns it to the outside, Maurice is gone. 97 yards here for the touchdown, and the Raiders take a 6-0 lead as the 2-point conversion was nullified on a penalty. On the very next possession, bad exchange here. Evan Beard comes up with a fumble recovery for the Spartans. 5 plays later, Tom Zetz back to pass, hits Beard, and Beard does the rest on the right side, breaks a couple of tackles, takes the ball down to the 1-yard line. That would set up the Zetz touchdown on the very next play. The extra point was good. That gave Boardman a 7-6 lead. But the Raiders defense came to play. James Johnson, the initial hit on Boyer, then forces them to punt, and the punter, Robbie Palma, steps on the end line, Harding up 8-7 at this point. The Raiders defense again, Tyler Obradovich comes up with the stop, and just an awesome defense last night by the Harding Raiders. Then Masucci with the Raiders, or with the Spartans driving, Masucci comes up with the interception, and then they turn it over to the offense, Mike Copeland to Danny Stella. Stella does a nice job, one-on-one coverage by Boardman. He eludes a couple of tacklers. This takes the ball inside the 10. Then on 3rd down, 3rd and 8 from the 8-yard line, Claret goes the final 8 yards, and look at the effort here by Maurice. He will dive into the end zone. This gave Warren Harding the lead. Claret, 34 rushing attempts, 197 yards.
Coach, when you talk about your win again, I found it interesting. You weren't kicking extra points last night. You went for 2, and you had the swinging gate offense. Tell us why you did all that.
Well, there were a couple of factors that came into play. One is that Mike Hank, our starting kicker, is nursing both ankle and hamstring injuries and hadn't kicked all week, and we weren't really sure how capable or how ready he'd be able to be on game night. And so we prepared that all week long, and you know, if you're 50% on the 2-point attempts, it's as good as being 100% on your kicking attempts.
Right.
And so we had done it to him in the first ball game, but had a different play off of the swinging gate. In this particular instance, we had about 3 different options, and it worked 1 out of 2 times.
Tom, how has this team improved week after week after week?
Well, I think that we've made gradual progress, and I think that the area that we've grown in the most is in terms of how we play the game mentally and how we approach playing the games. You know, our game day readiness, the unselfishness that the team has bought into and believed in. I mean, we're like everybody else. We're never going to play a perfect game, and you know, we make mistakes in every game that we play, and we try to go out and practice and correct those things. But the most consistent thing that the kids have done is give us a good attitude, give us a coachable attitude, and play together as a football team. They're united, and they're a bunch of kids that have a mission.
Well, congratulations last night on a big win. I know it's always tough to beat a team 2 times, especially in the same year, especially when that team's a conference team. Congratulations on that win, and I know you guys have some work that you still need to do as we look to the second round of the playoffs, and we're going to talk to some of these young gentlemen down the road in the next couple of minutes. But more playoff action from Friday.
That's right. Friday night we had some ball games too. Poland.
And before we get to our matchups for week number 2, we do have our Eagle Wear Play of the Week.
Welcome to a special edition of Inside High School Football. We have our game faces on this week. Time for the Play of the Week.
And here's the Play of the Week, and we have the recipient right next to us, Maurice Claret. Maurice, talk about this play, the 97-yard run.
You know, I saw the hole. I had to get through it. Mashed it for my dreams down the sideline. I love to stand out there on the field, and I just had to make things happen.
You made things happen last night. Obviously that was a big critical play because you just got the turnover.
Yeah, it was a very critical play. Thanks to Rob Masucci and the defense. And as you see, I was just outrunning every Boardman defender.
All right, Maurice Claret, and that is our Eagle Wear Play of the Week. We're going to send it back downtown where Mike Ackelson is standing by with our matchups for week number 2. Mike?
Thanks, Dana and Mike, and we're going to start off right in Division 1, and that's where Warren Harding, they'll be taking on Lakewood St. Ed's. This game's going to be Saturday night, 7 o'clock, maybe the Akron Rubber Bowl. We'll know later today. We'll give you the confirmation. Division 2, this game Friday, 7:30, Cheney, number 2, taking on number 3 seeded Green. Then Division 3, it's a local showdown. Number 2, Hubbard against Poland, Friday, 7:30. Should be a pretty good ball game. Division 5 on Friday at 7:30. Another local ball game that matches up Warren JFK against South Range. And then Division 6, Wellsville will be taking on Shady Side Saturday night, 7 o'clock. District 10, the AAA championship game. Greenville against Wilmington. This game likely to be played Saturday up in Erie. The AA game is Sharon against Northeast. This game could be Friday night up in Erie. And then the Class A game, you have Sharpsville against Iroquois. This game likely to be Saturday afternoon, also up in Erie. As for Farrell, they'll be getting a rematch with Duquesne. That's the team that knocked off the Steelers in the first game of the season. This should be a pretty good game in a WPIAL Class A matchup. This game likely to be on Friday night. So there's your matchups. We'll hopefully have all the official sites for you tonight at 6. Let's head it back out to Warren, where the Raiders are still celebrating that big win against Boardman. Take it away, Dana and Mike.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. And we're going to have some entertainment. What do we have here, guys?
We're both on a tackle together.
Defensive team dance. You guys are on the tackle together. I've never felt so safe as I do right now. All right, here we go.
All right.
Well, it's no wonder they're winning so many games, is it?
All right. Hey, first, before we go, we want to thank the Warren Harding Band for coming out, members of the Warren Harding Band. We want to thank you guys for coming out, the cheerleaders for coming out. We want to thank the Warren Athletic Office for allowing us to be here today. Coach McDaniels as well. Guys, best of luck next Saturday night against St. Ed's. Bring home another victory.
All right.
Okay, with that, we're going to remind you to catch all the highlights on the Arby's Overtime Report at 11:15 on Friday, and we close this week with our plays of the year.